Good morning, everyone. We're looking at Psalm 14 this morning. As I was reading this, I was reminded of such a true and sobering fact. And as you read these verses, I think you'll see pretty clearly what that is. Because the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is no one who does good. The Lord looks down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there are any who understand, who seek God. They have all turned aside. They have together become corrupt. There is none who does good, no, not one. Paul, in his book to the Romans, quotes these very verses and makes the point that everyone is equally guilty under the law, equally guilty under sin. He says, "What then? Are we better than they? No, not at all. For we have previously charged both Jews and Greeks that they are all under sin. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. There is none who understands. There is none who seeks after God." So in the Psalms and in the book of Romans, the case is made clear that no one is good. No one deserves heaven. No one can get to heaven by their own merits. We are all together become corrupt. So where's our hope? Well, verse 2 says, when the Lord looks down from heaven upon the children of men, he sees this complete corruption. No one who does good. But in John chapter 1, he tells us that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and he was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The Gospel of John begins introducing Jesus Christ not as a man, but as the Son of God. So in Psalms, we see that it's the children of men who have become corrupt. But Jesus Christ, who is the Son of God, is born sinless and leads a sinless life. So that in Corinthians, Paul will tell us, for he made him sin who knew no sin to be sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. This is the great mystery. This is the great surprise that God had for the world, that man was condemned and lost and had no way of coming back to God. But God allowed himself to come to be our sacrifice. Jesus Christ took on flesh. And he who was sinless became sin for us. He took all that penalty upon ourselves that we might become the righteousness of God. So his righteousness was transferred to us. And he took our sin upon himself. He took our place. And therefore, we could escape the corruption. We could escape everything that we're indicted with in Psalm 14 and Romans 3 and come to stand before God justified, just as if we had never sinned, because Jesus Christ took our place. If we ever start to trust ourselves, if we ever start to think highly about ourselves or about any of the children of men, I want these verses to pop into your mind, that they have all turned aside, they have together become corrupt, there is no one who does good, no, not one. Therefore, we have to place our faith solely in Jesus Christ and the work that he's done. And when we do that, we are assured that his perfect sacrifice was sufficient to pay for our sin. And we can follow him who knew no sin into heaven that he's prepared for us. It's a lot to think about. Have a great day, guys. Bye.